Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome to my video. You may have seen my previous video where I showed a badminton racket being strung, but anyone who's seen that video probably is aware that the sound on that recording wasn't very good. So I've decided to do a new video, and this time I've got a squash racket on the machine. Now, as before, it's not really an intention to be a tutorial on how to string a racket. It's just really to give you an idea of what happens to your racket when you bring it into me for stringing. But since the audio is working now, I will try to explain some of the things I'm doing as I go along. As you can see, I've got an electronic string tensioner. This machine was a manual machine, but I converted it to electronic by the adding of this tennis head. And because the racket we're going to string is going to be done at 26 pounds tension, there you are, you can see clearly I've got 26 pounds tension, and it is pounds, it can be pounds or kilos, and it's a constant pull machine, which means it keeps pulling all the time. So the rest of the machine, so you've got a 6-clamp machine, so it's clamped at the head and it's clamped at the throat, and side clamps, and then you've got the string clamps and various hand tools to do the job. On the machine we have the head microgel 125 squash racket, and as you can see it's going to be strung in this nice bright orange Technifibre X1 biphase string. The string comes in packets or on reels. This was a packet. A packet of string typically has about 14 racket lengths of string in it. I've cut the string into 2 pieces because I'm going to string the mains with one piece and then I'm going to string the crosses with another. So the mains is slightly longer than the cross string. And as I say, it's not really going to be a tutorial on how to string a racket, but I will talk through some of the things that I'm doing as I do them. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is you take both of the main strings, we'll start in the centre and work outwards. They go around the Diablo, which smooths out the pull. And we just clamp these to start with. Now, although I've got the machine set at 26 pounds tension, obviously as I pull 2 strings, that's not going to be the full tension. So if you hear that, and then compare it to when I pull this one string on its own, which is now at 26 pounds tension. So what we do is we just work our way out from the middle, and you mustn't go too far on one side or the other or you'll distort the frame. So you can go up to 3 strings ahead, but I just tend to do 2. So I've now got 2 each side, so I'm going to go on to 3 and 4 on this side. So it's 4 on the right side, so now I want to even it up by doing a couple more on the left. So it's 4 each side. So I'm going to do 5. Now with this 6th and final main, we need to skip the 6th hole because that's the bottom cross, and it's the same at the top of the racket, the head end of the racket. We skip the 6th and use the 7th hole because the 6th is the top cross. I always like to put a little bit of string in when I'm covering a hole, just so that if the string is difficult to move out the way and I put that cross in, I can move it easily. So now I've got my 6th main on that side. I'll do the 5th main on this side. And again, when I put the 6th main in, I shall put a piece of string in just to stop the hole being blocked. So that's all of the mains in. And again, I don't want to block the top cross hole. So I'll just put a piece of string there. And now I want to tie off the mains, and we use what's known as a parnell knot. So once you've got it in that position there, this one's tight there, this one here should come down on top, and you get a clamp to get a grip on it. We tighten it up like that, and then we take the second piece of string, form the second loop on top, tighten that all up, put it in all directions, make sure it all tightens up. And we just put this piece of string out of the way for now, like that. And then the same on this side. The one having trouble with this. So it goes through. There's a string to stop the hole getting blocked. And again, the parnell knot, and this time goes over to the right, and under, and goes over to the right again, under the same place, that's nice and tight, and then pull this one down on top of it, stitch it all up tight. I don't know why that happened. Right, and now do that. And now when we release this clamp, it puts tension on that knot, same on that one. And that knot, and we can start thinking about stringing the cross strings. So first thing to do is just place the string in position. Make sure I've got enough string when I want to pull that, so I'm just testing I've got enough string there, which I have. And then I use a little bit of leather to protect the racket because the clamp's going on to that string. And I'll just put that under tension. And obviously have to weave the strings so they're opposite to the previous weave. And I like to start my weaves with an under first, so it's under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. If you start under, it will always finish over, and vice versa. I prefer to start under and finish over, so that's what I do. Some rackets make it difficult to work out which way you're going to start to achieve that, but this one's fairly simple. and then I always move the string along so you don't get string burn, although that's not normally an issue with this particular type of string. So place that like that. So the second cross, I don't put that under tension because it makes it easier to weave the third cross if the second cross isn't already under tension. Although again, on this particular racket it's not particularly difficult. It's much more difficult if you've either got high tensions such as tennis rackets, or if you've got fiddly small strings like badminton rackets. But once you've done that weave, you can then put the second cross under tension and clamp it, release the stringing machine, and again when you pull it you don't want any string burn, so but there isn't any on this because there's very little tension across the string. And always make sure, just to get when you get started, that you have the correct pattern. So if you start under, you finish over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and this obviously is going to be opposite to the previous weave. So if the main goes over this one, it's under this one. And again, as I string one weave ahead, I don't put the previous cross under tension until I've weaved that next cross. So it's what they refer to as hard and soft weaves. This is a soft weave. If I'd already put this under tension, it'd be a hard weave. And again, I just want enough string to now put this third cross under tension.